So for this section, it says, for the following scenarios, complete the following. Determine and then compare the y-intercept of each function in terms of the quantities compared. On the track team, two long jumpers, Greg and Summer, are steadily improving their times for the 400-yard dash during the course of the season. Their times in seconds as a function of weeks are shown below. So it's the same situation, except this time we are comparing y-intercepts. So the starting value. I think you guys are going to like how straightforward this one is. When you have it on a t-table, you ask yourself, what's next to 0? 60. So our starting value, our y-intercept, is 60. And what does that mean in terms of the quantities compared? That means Greg starts with a time of 60 seconds. So his running time in the beginning is 60 seconds. So let's take a look at Summer's time in the beginning. What is her starting y-intercept? So you go over to her y-axis and see that she intercepts the y-axis at 0,70. Right over there, 0,70. So her y-intercept is 0,70. That means Summer starts with a time of 70 seconds. So then when we are comparing the y-intercept of each of these, we can say that Greg started with a better time than Summer did. Because in track, you want a smaller time. You want a time that's less. And Greg started with 60 seconds, whereas Summer started with 70 seconds. So Greg has a better time in the beginning than Summer did. All right? So we want to make the comparison between these two in terms of what the situation is even talking about. Let's move on to number 4. So number 4, a sporting supply place sells balls for many different sports. The function below shows the number of balls sold over the course of time. So for volleyball sold, when you have the equation, what you want to do to find the y-intercept is find the b value. So remember, y equals mx plus b. This is your y-intercept. So we're going to be looking at the 10. Okay, so in here it's the 10. And then when we're on a t-table, it's the same thing as what we just did earlier. What is next to 0? What is next to 0? So football starts at 15 and volleyball starts at 10. So this means we started with 10 volleyballs already sold. And we started with how many? 15 footballs already sold. So when you compare them, you can say when we started, there were more footballs already sold, because 15 is more than 10. So we started with more footballs already sold than we started with volleyballs already sold. That would be our comparison for number 4. For our skills practice assignment, we are working on pages 65 through 71 and just part A, all 12 of them. So for all 12 of these, you're going to determine and compare the rate of change and the y-intercept for each of these situations. So all the problems, you just have to determine the y-intercept and the rate of change. So call me over if you have any questions, but if you don't, you just need to finish this and turn it into the Google Classroom. But remember, if you have a question, you should ask me for help. Otherwise, I'll never know, and I won't be able to help you.